moving on to pretty much of the final topic that we had here, which is um, was there a difference between what you thought game design was and what you learned at school?
Oh, huge difference. In my eyes, I thought game design, in the simplest of term, was coming up with game ideas. And I thought I was some special individual who was like, oh, they don't know how to come up with game ideas. I got that easily. I can come up with like 10 ideas in like 10 minutes easily. What
Right,
it turned out to be was a lot more recording information, being meticulous, learning to communicate,
right,
programming, designing, learning how to like express yourselves in more than just like vague terms. Like it
right,
was nailed into my head to be meticulous. And I think, honestly, I appreciate it because what
yeah,
I learned to what I am, two different things, two different
right,
worlds. Like
right.
if I was gonna ever look at somebody and they're like, "Oh, I want to be a game designer," I'd be like, "You like writing? You like writing? You like being very, very sure you know what you want? You know how to express yourself? Do you know how to communicate? Do you know how to make the idea that's in your head come out of your mouth in a way that makes sense? If you can't
Right,
do any of that,
right,
designing might not be it for you. You might be into programming, might be into the art world,
right,
audio. There's
right,
1,000 things that can go down, but design is a lot of work to get things going.
right,
What
right.
about yourself? I know
Um,
you did both. You were in the industry, you did the school. Before any of that, what was your idea of game design?
so similarly, like you, I thought you were the idea guy, but I think I misunderstood how many disciplines existed within game design, right? Like system design, combat design, and enemy NPC design, like narrative design,
So
technical
much.
design. Like there's so many levels, like there's so many different disciplines that fall under game design that like that can be a bit misleading, right? So you come in and you're like, "Oh, I'm a game designer," and you think you're it's like one stop shop for everything, and it's like yeah, you could be a jack of all trades, but when it comes down to what you want to do in a day to day, it becomes you really doing the research to find out what exactly is the aspect of design that you like, and chances are if you're just a regular game designer, if that's just your title, that and this you learn from school, but also from your experience within the industry, is like you're probably not in front of the engine as much as you think.
Mm.
I definitely thought I'd be in front of the engine a lot more. Personally, I like level design more because I get to be in the engine more and block meshing and gray boxing, which is stuff that we spoke about previously. Um,
Huge fan of making gun systems. Huge fan of it.
one day, guys, one day
Don't see why that's funny.
we'll when we progressed more, we'll do an entire Patreon episode that'll outline exactly why that's funny and both of our experiences in full sail, especially as seniors during our capstone. And I think guys would probably laugh at that because it's a lot there.
Bruh.
Yeah, but that's it in a nutshell for me. Like you know what you end up doing versus what you think you'd be doing, and of course, in respect to not having a full understanding of the different disciplines that do exist within game design. Um, so, like, you know, coming in as a junior game designer, which is something that a lot of us will end up doing. And this kind of goes into our wrap up, which is just advice for aspiring devs and students. Coming in as a junior game designer or as a QA tester, um, you're going to be doing a lot of the grunt work, right? So as a QA tester, you're going to be doing a lot of the testing, right? A lot of heavy testing, manual, some scripted, depending on where you work, and just repetition, doing the same thing over and over again. It can suck if you don't have the right mindset. But that is these two things kind of overlap because one of the misconceptions that I also had as a game designer is that I would just go into game design because that was my major. And it's like, no, you're probably going to start off as a QA tester, maybe a junior designer, but you probably won't be the lead designer at XYZ Studio.
For a while.
Um, not for a while. You're gonna need the experience working within a team so that you can, eventually lead a team. Um, or as a junior game designer, you're a glorified secretary, right? Like a lot of the designs are created beforehand, unless you have been deemed someone trustworthy, and then your lead might hand you some more work and say, hey, work on this feature yourself, and let me see what that looks like. But for the most part, the feature's probably already bulleted out and broken down, and you're making user stories, right? Like you're maybe flushing out edge cases, but you're
Look at
not.
him using all these terms and terminologies. Look at him shine as the professional. He said edge cases, user stories. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, that's where we're trying to get to. That's the level I want to be at, where I'm just saying those without even thinking about it. Ugh. Ugh.
I mean, but that's what it is. So in a nutshell, those were the misconceptions.